What's up, my pilots? Angry Poncho here. We're back playing Blaze Black. It's time for another battle. We're just here heading north out of Castelia City, and as we enter the gate, we're scheduled to have a battle with Bianca. So, show off our Pokemon here, the same as before. Typhlosion and Gigalith looking like a couple of badasses. Duat is sort of falling behind because it's about to be replaced by another Pokemon, so I'm not bothering to train it very much anymore. And sure enough, Bianca just wanders in and says, "Oh, you know, let's fight indoors. We haven't learned our lesson from this yet." And it's like, "What are you doing?" She goes over and talks to them. It's like, "Oh, we can battle as long as we don't break the bulletin board." It's like, "What about everything else in here?" I don't know. Anyway, she's rolling with 4 Pokemon now. A couple of them are new, I believe. She's got a Simisage. Of course, we haven't seen Bianca yet, have we? This is our first time on film, because the first couple of battles she's heard Pokemon are real low levels, so there's no point really in showing it. But she's coming out with a Simisage and a Munna, so yeah. This is not a particularly challenging fight, but I wanted to show the Bianca and Sharon fights throughout the game, in order to show the difficulty curve as the game sort of progresses. It turns out that even your somewhat mediocre rival Bianca manages to put together a halfway decent team by the end of the game. And I'm a little bit surprised there how Munna took very low damage from that Incinerate attack from Nacrack. So I can only guess that Munna has pretty decent special defense. It's also the fact that Nacrack has very low special attack, so I probably would have been better off just using a dual chop on one or the other. But you know, I'm a sucker for those moves that hit both opponents in a double battle. So I don't really know what Bianca's strategy is supposed to be here, but her Simisage is just using Leer over and over. Like, I don't think he ever actually got an attack off. Like, you think he just used Leer 3 or 4 times. It's a little bit weird. Anyway, we're trying to finish off the Simisage there, so he'll put using Leer on us, and there he goes a 3rd time. It's like, alright now. That bounce is going to be more than enough. I've had a hard time with using bounce effectively in this series because I think that the accuracy is like 85 or 90 or something like that, so you'd think it would be pretty good, but it seems like it misses all the time. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, Daedalus wants to learn Ice Fang, and so I figure that's a physical type move. It's going to be better off with Ice Fang than with Twister, because it's not actually a dragon type, so there's no stab on the Twister or anything. Not on the Ice Fang either, but still. Twister's a special attack, and so Daedalus isn't really getting his bang for his buck with a special attack that's not even a stab move. Which is the same reason that Nacrack's not doing particularly well with Incinerate. But, you know, the really nasty physical type moves that are of the types that used to be special, like fire and water, you don't get those strong physical type moves until higher levels. So stuff like Waterfall and what's the good? I forget which of the fire type moves is the good physical attack. I can't remember. It's basically the physical attack equivalent of Flamethrower. I think it might have like slightly different damage and accuracy. I'm not sure. But yeah, you don't ever get those until a high level, and so even when you have like a Nacrack or something that's learning how to do its moves at low evolutions, it seems like you start off with special attacks, even though because like Dragon just tends to be special attacking some of the time, and so it's hard to get the special attacks at a low level. I'm not making any fucking sense. Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is that when they in Gen 4 split the types up, so it's no longer special physical based on type, but now based on the actual move. I think that they must have added quite a few new moves, and I think they changed the typing of a bunch of them, like things like Ice Punch that used to be a special attack and now makes so much more sense for it to be a physical attack, but it's a little bit weird now. I guess it sort of changed so much about the games. Like the best example I think would be Hitmonchan, because Hitmonchan was this great physical attacker and had I believe I can't remember if it was it or Hitmonlee that had the high attack or the high defense. I'm not sure, but either way it was a physical attacker through and through. And I think that back in Gen 1, you got to one level, a particular level with Hitmonchan, and it wanted to learn all 3 of the punch moves. So it wanted to learn Fire Punch, Ice Punch, and Thunder Punch. And I remember I was like, oh, that's so awesome, look at the type coverage, look at all the punching things it can do. And then, so I taught it to my Hitmonchan, and then I realized after that it was like all those were special attacks, and that they sucked with Hitmonchan. But now, you know, now that they've changed that, Hitmonchan it can actually hit pretty hard with those attacks because they're all physical attacks now. I think it was definitely an improvement on the game, although it must have made things more complicated at first. I think we've all pretty much gotten used to it now. Yeah, this battle's pretty much in the bag. I think she's not got any real threatening Pokemon yet, and her Simisage, despite being up against some types you could actually score good damage against, never even attacked us with a Grass type move. So that is that. I'll see you guys in the next battle.